In today's video, we're going to talk about how to know if you're being manipulated and what to do with manipulative people. So I'm talking about this today because it's coming up a lot. Scammers are afoot, they're all over the place, and these people have been professionally trained to manipulate people, and it's disgusting, y'all. I mean, they're all over the place. If this is how they make a living preying on innocent people, they should be ashamed of themselves. They are out there, they're in the world, people are going to be who they are. But what we can do is educate ourselves and become far more aware of the tactics that they use. So let's get into it. Number 5 is love bombing. It's exactly what it sounds like. They are dropping bombs of love on people, and it does not have to be necessarily romantic gestures. It could be platonic, but they're basically giving you compliments on top of compliments without really even knowing you, swearing that you're the best thing that they've ever met. Maybe they're saying you're the smartest person, or they're saying you're so beautiful, I can't stand it, I'm completely mesmerized. It's just over the top love bombing, and it's really quick. They come in quick, they try to get you distracted from anything. It's excessive flattery, it's just over the top, and they have no point of reference for it. Now understand, love takes time, and it will build over time. If somebody is over the top with over flattering you and being very over the top, it's almost like they spewed a book of poetry. It's a red flag that you may be dealing with a manipulator. And it's over the top for a reason. So love bombing, when you're in love, your brain produces a chemical, dopamine. That's that feel good chemical that makes you want more. But the design is that they love bomb you to the point where you get so high from it, and then they take it away. So it almost creates this addictive relationship, and it's by design. They are manipulating you. It's almost like you keep going back, even though you know it's unhealthy. You keep going back to that dynamic because you're looking for that same fix you had in the love bombing phase. Number 4, shifting blame. Okay, because they can never be wrong. If you bring something to their attention, maybe they said something that hurt your feelings, or even if some of the details of what they've given you, stories that they've told, are inconsistent, and you call them on the inconsistencies, they will shift the blame, meaning they will tell you you weren't paying attention. That's not what they said. It's somebody else's fault. You name it, they're going to shift it. They will never ever own, oh, that was my fault. Shifting blame also comes with an over the top reaction. Pay attention to the reaction. When people are genuinely sorry for something and they take ownership of it, they will own it. They will say, I'm so sorry, I got this wrong, I messed up. They will offer you a sincere apology. This is different. They don't own it, they will shift the blame, and the reaction is so over the top. It's so unnecessary. It can be almost scary. The reaction, it's physical, it's emotional, it's an outburst. It does not match the issue that you're bringing to them. If the reaction is over the top, pay attention, because that is another method of manipulation, because it's almost training you not to bring these inconsistencies to their attention. Number 3, this is a good one. Forced teaming. Another way to say this is helplessness. They're going to pretend like they're helpless and they can't do anything without you. Meaning, hey, we're a great team. Let's do more of this. Or how are we going to solve this issue that ultimately is their problem? How are we going to solve this? It's toxic. It's really, really toxic. And it's a method of manipulation to include you in their drama. A really good example of this is if you're going out to dinner and you have dinner, you have a lovely chat. Manipulators can be very charming, so they will turn on the charm full blast. But when that check comes, they happen to have forgotten their wallet. So they're testing you. Remember, it's the helplessness, the forced teaming to see how good of a teammate you're actually going to be. But what they're actually testing is how easily they can get you to participate, how easily you'll pull out your wallet, how easily they can hit those heartstrings and make you feel sorry for them. It's a test. Be aware of it. They're constantly testing you to see where your limits are and how far they can actually take you. Number two, isolation. This is a method. They do it on purpose. They're trying to get you away and isolate you from people that would talk sense into you. Meaning, if they're trying to isolate you, they want to get you away from friends, family. They want to make sure you're not talking to somebody else. You're not in a position. Whereas if you told your bestie all this stuff was going on, besties want to say, hey, that doesn't sound right. They want to cut off any resource that is available to you that is normal or is going to shine a light on their attempt of manipulation. So pay attention. If they're asking you to unfriend people on social, or if they're asking you to delete your social media accounts, if you met on an app, for example, and they're trying to get you off the app, that is all isolation. If there is a place, a restaurant that you like to go because you know the people or you're very familiar with it, they're going to try to get you away from that place because the people know you. And if you're acting differently because you were being manipulated, the people around you are going to see it easily. They'll say, something is off with you. What's going on? How can I help? The manipulator does not want that. They are going to try to isolate you as much as possible to get you away from that. And the only influence you have at this point is them. It's a recipe for disaster and it's dangerous. So pay attention. And one, this is the top of the list. You've probably heard this term before. It's called gaslighting. And this is a master manipulator's number one tool. So gaslighting is basically twisting the reality in a way that best serves the manipulator. It does not matter what the truth actually is. They will twist it until it serves their purpose, to the point where you are questioning your own sanity, your own intelligence, and your own perception of reality. And it's bad. It's actually really dangerous. All of these examples that I've given you, especially gaslighting, it can run havoc on your mental health to the point where you question everything. You don't trust yourself anymore. It's really dangerous. And it's really sad that this is the way that some people make their living. Actually, breaking somebody down to the point where they're no longer trusting themselves anymore. It breaks my heart. And that's why I'm talking to you about this today. It's audacious. I cannot believe that people actually want to make their living by doing this. I don't know how they live with themselves. I don't know how they sleep. But I think we can educate ourselves. So that leads me to the next part of this video. If you know at this point that you're dealing with a manipulator, there are ways that you can manage this. One, I tell you flat out, don't try to beat them at their own game. You're going to swim with crazy at this point, and you are not crazy. If you are listening to this video, you are not on that team. When you're dealing with a manipulator, take emotion out of it because they feed off of your emotions. They want to see where your triggers are so they can use them against you. So when you're having a conversation, you take the emotion out of it. Just the facts. You stick to just the facts. If you need to keep screenshots of conversations you've had, you do that. You do not get emotional. Even when they poke and prod and try to provoke you, you stay just the facts. I mean, cold. If you need to go cold with it, you go cold. Stick to the facts. It will help you see what's going on much clearer. The next method is to focus on self-awareness. And what happens when you're dealing with a manipulative person? You don't become so aware of yourself anymore because they have you so hyper-focused on them. You need to take that back. It's key because people that are manipulative or master manipulators, they have a very high EQ. They have a high emotional intelligence. So you need to work on yours. You need to focus on your own self-awareness, your own emotional intelligence. One, to know who you are, to come back to your own awareness of how this relationship is making you feel, how the dynamic is making you feel, even if it's one exchange. You come across a manipulator and I can't put my finger on it, but all my senses are screaming right now, get away. This person is dangerous. Don't trust what they're saying. You need to get back to that. What is your body telling you about this person? Your intuition never lies to you. It is yours. It's there to protect you. Trust it. And when a manipulator can override that, it's not a good feeling, but you can come back to that and you can protect yourself. So focus on self-awareness. It's a great tool. It is yours. And then finally, you're going to create boundaries. Like I said, you're never going to outsmart them. Don't play their game. But what you can do is create a hard boundary and say no. And many times, all you can do is just walk away. Just, create space. It's no contact. You go no contact and you just leave it as no contact and let it be what it is. Whatever their path they are walking on, let them walk it. Now, I will say, if there's an opportunity to report said person, depending on the situation or what kind of manipulation, if there's an opportunity to report them, depending on the severity, report them, because all they're going to do is do it again, and they're going to keep doing it until somebody actually stops them. It's just how they are built. So I hope this video is helpful. Just please know that manipulators have a way of making us question our own sanity, which does not feel good. I've heard from plenty of people that have gone through this. And, I will also caveat that if you're listening to this video or have sometime in your life heard somebody's story about how they were manipulated into X, Y, and Z, and you've said, well, that will never happen to me. I think I like X, Y, and Z so much. I like my money too much to do that. Or I would never let a man do that to me before. Well, take a step back, because not a single one of us has gone through this life unscathed by somebody who is manipulative. So please don't fool yourself in thinking that you're exempt or above it, or you'll never experience it, because you probably already have. It's just to a different level. So have some grace. Don't judge others and be gentle, because people really do get victimized. And what happens as a society, we tend to focus the blame on the victim and not the predator. We tend to ask the victim, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you know? Why didn't you see it? Why didn't you react? Instead of focusing on the predator that is still out in the world preying on victims. And if you have been manipulated, please know my heart is with you. You may have survived things other people have not. And if this has happened to you, what I would suggest, taking some time to figure out, what is it about you that was a perfect fit for this person or these people if it's a repeating cycle? If you can narrow that down, what is it about you that is calling in these people? You're going to be so much better off and more empowered to stand up way sooner and notice the red flags. I think people have been victimized far too long by people that think they're entitled to do so. So I'm hoping this helps you in some form or fashion. If it did, please go ahead and put comments below. I love hearing from you. If you want more of this content, let me know that too. If you've had experiences with manipulation, if you need help and you're not sure, put something in the comments and I will respond to you and give you the best advice I possibly can to help you, because I am this passionate about this. Otherwise, go ahead and like and subscribe if you feel called, and I will see you in the next video. Much love. Mwah.